In the last video, we have discussed about Jupiter in the ninth house of the horoscope and how it brings that optimism and faith into the person's life. In this video, we are going to talk about Saturn. Yes, Saturn in the ninth house of the horoscope. So keep watching. Namaste and welcome to Pramanik Astrology channel. I'm your host Prasad Mahazani. Help you raise your vibrations and become your true self with the help of Vedic Astrology. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You'll be getting Vedic astrological videos which will help you grow further faster into Vedic astrological studies. If you have any question, add your question to the YouTube comment section. I read all the comments and I try to reply to almost all the comments. If you have any question, you can also DM me on Instagram at Pramanik Astrology. And if you're looking for readings and consultation, check out the link into the description section and choose the option best suitable for you. Saturn is a polar opposite to the Jupiter. Jupiter is all about the positivity, abundance, wealth, faith, optimism, higher belief, things beyond our comprehension, God, everything. And Saturn is the polar opposite of the Jupiter. It is about the negativity. It is about the scarcity, distrust, pessimism, inabilities, death, delay, arguments. All these can be seen with the Saturn. Now this Saturn is coming into the ninth house of the horoscope. What is ninth house? Ninth house is the feel-good house of the horoscope. Ninth house is 11th to the 11th. So it is the ultimate house of gains. Ninth house is 5th from the 5th and 11th from the 11th. So it is the core house for two of the trine houses, 5 and 11. Ninth house is also 9 places away from the first house and 7 places away from the third house, the other trine. Ninth house becomes the super benefic and most important house of the horoscope. Ninth house represents higher belief, faith, optimism, travel, morality, values, philosophy, religious activities, ethics, higher studies. And when I say higher, it's on the higher level. It's not just about the master's or PhD. It's about the higher. We have a lower self, we have a higher self. So it is the house of higher education. It's the house of God, house of spirituality and religion. It's the house of guru, teacher's father, or the teachings of your father. Now Saturn comes into this house. The planet of distrust comes into the house of faith. Now what it is going to bring out of this house? So when Saturn is coming into the ninth house, the first thing it does is he does not believe blindly. The person with the ninth house Saturn is very difficult to fool. You cannot just give him anything, any philosophy, any rules to follow. He won't do it blindly. He will use his analytical skills, critical ability. He will then go to the core of it. And if he is convinced, he will do justice to those philosophies and rules. He will follow it and he will convince others to follow that as well. But you cannot fool him. No, it's not possible. It's very difficult to fool this guy. He is not overwhelmed with the positivity of the ninth house or the Jupiter. He is practical, critical, analytical, distrustful, and pessimistic. So he knows what exactly he's doing. The planet of scarcity is coming into the house of wealth. Oh no, Prasad, it is going to make me poor. No, it doesn't. It will make you conscious. It will make you aware of the wealth. It will help you understand wealth at the next level. It is not only about the optimism and yes, money will come in, the resource, yes, money will come in, I'll have multiple streams of income, the passive income, and so on. No, he will simply analyze the situation. What exactly in store for me? Do I have the passive source of income? Is it possible to have it for me? Or I will have to do 9 to 5. I'm okay to do it. I just want to survive. So Saturn is always conscious about the wealth and resources, and that's what makes him rich. The planet of practicality is coming into the house of faith and higher belief. Higher belief, faith, optimism are the things, are the areas which only Jupiter can understand. Okay, it is very difficult for Saturn to understand that there will be something beyond this physical realm, because he is always into the survival mode. So he does not believe that yes, there will be God, he will save us and so on. So he's not ready to accept it until he tests those philosophies onto the practical level. So the planet of practicality comes into the house of faith. So the person with the ninth house Saturn will have practical faith. He will believe in something. He will have his own philosophy, be it religious or spiritual or anything which he believes in, but it will always be tested onto the grounds of practicality. You just cannot talk something Jupiterian to him. He won't understand that. It's all about perspective. The guy with the Jupiter in the ninth house has his own philosophy and it works for him. Saturn has his own criterias and that works for him. Saturn has three special aspects. Saturn can aspect third house from where it is placed, seventh house, the normal aspect, and the 10th house from where he is placed. So when he is placed into the ninth house, he will aspect the 11th house with the third house aspect, the third house with the seventh house aspect, and the sixth house with the 10th house aspect. I really like the position of Saturn into the ninth house for the reason, if you look at the houses 11th, 3rd, and 6th, all of these houses are Upachaya houses. Like these are the houses which are going to grow with the time. And Saturn loves slow pace. He doesn't like flashy things. He likes to, build the foundation, work at the ground level, and then build the foundation and then go to the next level. And if you look at all these houses, these are the Upachaya houses which grows with time, and Saturn loves it. So Saturn does great job into the ninth house. Ninth house, the feel-good house of the horoscope. Now we have the most difficult planet, the most feared planet. And guess what? He's doing great job here. He won't disappoint you. If you have Saturn in the ninth house, it's a great place. I like the Saturn in the sixth house and the ninth house. When Saturn aspect the 11th house, what is 11th house? 11th house is the house of gains, your friends, your networking. And what is Saturn? Saturn is the planet of restriction and delay. The person will have difficulty networking with the people in the early part of his life. Once this Saturn is matured, then he will have better effects of the 11th house or all the houses associated with Saturn. Okay, 11th house is having the third aspect. The third aspect holds the element of third house, which is the house of self-effort and courage and parakrama. So this person has to take an extra effort to connect with people. He may be a shy guy. He may be having inferiority complex. So he will have very few friends and it is very difficult for him to connect with other people. From the ninth house, it also aspects the third house of the horoscope. with the 7th aspect. Now here Saturn does great job. Saturn loves the 3rd house for its self-effort. When Saturn aspects the 3rd house of the self-effort, the person is always working to improve his skills. 3rd house is the house of skills, and Saturn is the planet of hard work, discipline, dedication. And now this person will always work to improve his life. Okay, and all this will have the 9th house background to it. Okay, he may be convinced due to some religious practice or maybe some philosophy which he has convinced, which he has tested on the practical grounds, and now he is convinced that it works, and now he is working to improve his life with that. 3rd house is also the house of communication. Saturn restricts the communication. Again, this person will have difficulty. So this person won't be inclined to express himself much. He won't be inclined to express his views, feelings, emotions, anything, because the house of communication is getting the aspect from the planet of restriction. But it makes his mind mechanical somewhat. Okay. Next, from the 9th house, Saturn aspects the 6th house of the horoscope with the 10th aspect. 6th house is the house of dates, delays, arguments, disease. 6th house is the 12th to the 7th house. Now Saturn is aspecting the 6th house. Saturn loves the 6th house for its hard work and the routine. The planet of hard work is aspecting the house of daily routine and hard work. So it does great job. So the person with the 9th house Saturn is constantly working to improve his work, is constantly working to improve his craft. Saturn also is delaying the dates and is taking care of the enemies. Enemies won't bother this person. These people have very few enemies. Great. It's better. They don't have much friends due to the 11th house aspect, and they have very less enemies because Saturn is also aspecting the 6th house. Okay. Saturn is the planet of responsibility, and 9th house is the house of religion, spirituality, guru, and father's teaching. So this person might have certain religious responsibility, and he might find those responsibilities as a burden. But as he grows old, all these houses lit up and start making progress. In earlier life, there will be restriction with friends, will be restriction with the communication, will be the restriction with the 6th house things as well. And when they grow up, gradually all these houses starts giving good results to this person. So yes, this was Saturn as much as I could hold, grasp and share with you guys. If you are just starting into Vedic astrology, go to my YouTube channel, go to the playlist section and start exploring any of the playlists and start your journey into the fascinating world of Vedic astrology. But I would recommend to start with how to get started into Vedic astrology playlist, or the rising signs or ascendant playlist, or any planet through houses series. Sending you tons of positive energy, sending you high vibrations. See you in the next videos. Love and peace.